Have you ever been treated like a predator for simply asking for the smallest bit of help? What if that help was just one person reading the microscopic print on an HOA violation notice because your eyes had been slowly betraying you for months? And what if the person who twisted that innocent moment into a neighborhood witch hunt was the smiling tyrant who ruled your HOA with an iron fist wrapped in pastel cardigans? My name is David Harlan, and this is how one blurry afternoon in Willow Creek Estates taught me that the most dangerous people aren't the obvious monsters. They're the ones who weaponize community standards while hiding their own rot. Willow Creek was the kind of place real estate agents drool over in brochures. Manicured lawns like green carpet, houses painted in only 3 approved shades of beige, and American flags flying at precisely the same height. On paper it was paradise. In reality, it was a police state run by Patricia Harrington, our HOA president for 8 glorious years. Patricia spoke in that soft, honey-dripping voice that made everything she said sound reasonable, even when she was fining you for having the wrong shade of mulch. "It's not personal, David," she'd coo at meetings. "It's for the good of the community." Yeah, right. The community apparently needed protection from anything that might offend her delicate sensibilities. I've been putting off new glasses for way too long. Long hours staring at code at my remote job had turned my vision into a hazy mess. Small text? Forget it. I kept telling myself I'd get them next month, when the bonus hit. Classic denial. That Tuesday afternoon, I walked down to the community bulletin board near the mailboxes because I'd received one of those dreaded yellow envelopes from the HOA, another violation probably. The print on these notices was criminal 8-point font from hell. I stood there squinting like an old man trying to read a medicine bottle, tilting the paper toward the sun, bringing it closer then farther. Nothing. The words swam together into meaningless gray blobs. That's when Carlos, the maintenance guy everyone actually liked, walked by pushing his cart of tools. Friendly dude, always quick with a wave. "Hey, Mr. Harlan, you good?" I gave him a sheepish smile. "Carlos, man, I hate to bother you, but my eyes are killing me today. Could you just read this violation notice for me real quick? It's all blurry as hell, and I need to know what they're claiming I did this time." He chuckled, totally chill. "No problem at all, let's see." He took the paper and started reading aloud in that calm way. "Failure to maintain approved lawn height. Measurement taken at 3.2 inches instead of the required 2.5. I was nodding, finally understanding, feeling relieved it was just another petty grass crime. Then came the voice. Sharp as a paper cut. "Excuse me? What exactly is happening here?" I turned and there she was, Patricia Harrington herself, arms crossed, lips pursed into that signature disappointed mom expression. She was dressed like she was attending a garden club meeting with the queen. Pastel blouse, pearl necklace, hair helmet sprayed into submission. "David, are you making Carlos read your mail for you? Is this some kind of game?" Her tone was pure accusation wrapped in fake concern. I blinked, still holding the paper. "Patricia, my eyesight is bad lately. I just asked him politely to help with the tiny print. No big deal." She stepped closer, voice rising just enough to attract the attention of Mrs. Jenkins from across the path, who immediately slowed her walk to eavesdrop. "This is exactly the kind of behavior that creates an unsafe environment for our staff. Employees aren't here to be your personal assistants, David. If you can't read your own notices, maybe you shouldn't live in a community with standards." Carlos tried to jump in, awkward but honest. "Ma'am, it's fine. I don't mind helping at all. It's no trouble." Patricia waved him off like he was a fly. "Carlos, you don't have to cover for him." I saw what I saw. Her eyes narrowed at me. "This looks like harassment. Plain and simple." I felt heat rising in my face. Harassment? For asking someone to read 8-point font? The absurdity hit me like a slap, but I kept my voice steady. "Patricia, that's ridiculous." I was respectful. "This is just a simple request for help." But she was already pulling out her phone with the dramatic flair of someone who'd watched too many true crime shows. "I'm calling the non-emergency line. The community deserves to feel safe." She actually dialed. "Right there." "Yes, officer." There's a resident at the community board harassing our maintenance personnel and refusing to stop. Willow Creek Estates. Please send someone quickly. I stood there stunned as she described me like I was some kind of menace. Carlos gave me an apologetic look, shrugging helplessly. A couple more neighbors had stopped now, whispering. The what's going on energy spread like wildfire. My simple failing eyesight had just become the afternoon's entertainment. The police arrived faster than I expected. 2 officers pulling up in their cruiser. Lights not flashing but the presence alone making it feel like a scene from a bad cop show. Patricia immediately launched into her performance. Officers, thank goodness you're here. This man has been bothering our staff member, demanding he read personal documents instead of doing his job. It's creating a hostile environment. The taller officer looked between us, notepad out. Sir, what's your side of this? I explained calmly, poor vision, polite request, nothing more. Carlos backed me up immediately. She misinterpreted everything, officers. Mr. Harlan was polite. I offered to help. It's part of being neighborly. The officers exchanged a look. The second one sighed. Ma'am, asking for assistance reading something isn't harassment. It's not even close to a police matter. We can't be responding to every misunderstanding like this. Patricia's face went through several interesting colors. But the rules. Community safety. Her voice cracked slightly as her authority slipped. The officers politely but firmly told her to stop wasting their time and left with apologies to me and Carlos. She shot me one last poisonous look before stalking off, heels clicking like little judgments on the pavement. This isn't over, David. The board will hear about this. That was the moment the real storm began brewing. I thought it was over. I was wrong. For the next week, the neighborhood group chat became a battlefield. Patricia didn't waste time. Her carefully worded posts started appearing. Concerned residents. Recent incident involving staff harassment at the bulletin board. We must protect our dedicated team. Please report any suspicious behavior. She never named me directly at first, but everyone knew. The whispers grew. Did you hear about David? Always seemed quiet. Who knew? My lawn, which was actually perfect, suddenly got flagged again. Another notice appeared on my door, this one even smaller print, fining me $250 for continued non-compliance. I didn't explode. That's what people like Patricia expect. They thrive on emotional reactions they can paint as unstable. Instead, I started watching. Quietly. Patiently. I attended every HOA meeting, took meticulous notes, and began recording them on my phone. Perfectly legal in our state for one-party consent. I discovered the gold mine. Patricia had her own violations piling up like dirty laundry she thought no one noticed. Her backyard water feature was 2 inches higher than code allowed. Her husband parked their massive RV in the driveway for weeks at a time, against the very rules she enforced on everyone else. More damning. Emails I'd gotten through a friendly board member showed she'd waived fines for her golf buddies while hammering single moms and retirees. The Queen had been playing favorites and skimming a little administrative fee here and there from the landscaping budget. Classic. The tension built like a pressure cooker. Patricia's emails got more unhinged. She called an emergency board meeting to discuss a troubling pattern of resident misconduct threatening community harmony. Translation. She wanted to publicly shame me and push for higher fines or even some ridiculous probation status. The night of the big meeting, the community center was packed. People love drama when it's not happening to them. Patricia stood at the front in her power blazer, voice dripping false sweetness. We must maintain standards, everyone. Recent events have shown that some residents believe rules don't apply to them. We cannot allow harassment of our staff or deliberate non-compliance. The room murmured. A few heads turned toward me. I sat in the back, calm as still water. When the floor opened for comments, I stood up slowly. The room went quiet. Patricia, I began, voice even. Before we talk about standards, maybe we should talk about yours. I pulled out printed screenshots and emails, projecting a few on the screen behind her using the AV system. Gasps rippled through the crowd as my evidence appeared. Her RV violation photos, the selective fine waivers, the suspiciously padded landscaping invoices with her signature. You've spent years telling us these rules protect the community, but you've been breaking them while punishing everyone else. You called the police on me for asking Carlos to read a notice because my eyesight is poor. Not because I threatened anyone. Not because I was rude. Because it gave you power in that moment. Her face drained of color. The honey voice cracked. This is taken out of context. I was protecting. Protecting what? I cut in, the room hanging on every word. Your ego? Because the truth is, you turned a man struggling to read into a villain just to feel important. How many others have you done this to? The murmurs turned to outright anger. Mrs. Jenkins, the same one who'd eavesdropped that day, stood up. I got fined last month for my flowers while your statue is clearly over code. Another resident chimed in about the budget. The dominoes fell fast. Patricia tried the victim card, tears and all. After everything I've done for this community. But it was pathetic now. The board members looked uncomfortable. A vote was called right there, motion to remove her as president. Passed overwhelmingly. The woman who had ruled through fear and petty tyranny walked out of that meeting a shell of her former self, no longer the queen. Just another resident who finally got measured by her own ruler. I finally got those new glasses the next week. The world snapped into sharp, beautiful focus. And Willow Creek? It's still got rules, but the atmosphere feels lighter. People actually talk to each other now instead of reporting each other. Here's the thing about people like Patricia. They don't start as monsters. They become them when tiny bits of power go unchecked. They wrap their insecurity in standards and safety until they believe their own nonsense. They weaponize empathy's absence, turning neighborly help into something sinister. The real victory wasn't just watching her fall. It was the reminder that patience and quiet observation beat screaming every single time. When you stay calm while they spiral, the truth eventually screams loud enough for everyone to hear. And nothing is more satisfying than watching a self-appointed ruler discover the rules actually apply to them too. Never let a Karen convince you that asking for basic human help makes you the problem. The real problems are usually the ones clutching their pearls the loudest.